Welcome back to the Investigator TV, the Cheating In-Laws episodes. This is the second episode, still with the one and only Lillian Kamigisa. Beautiful young girl, innovative, and a pastor. Is that pastess or pastor?
Pastress.
Pastress. Okay, fine. She's a preacher of God's word. But I think you will have to preach to me as well.
Yeah, I preached to you yesterday.
Okay, Lillian, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back.
In the first episode, she introduced herself to you, the viewer, and she told us a lot about her relationship, her love, her dreams, and you see that it was all rosy for her. In this second episode, after that rosy journey with her hubby or husband, Pavel Padra, am I right? Pavel Widra, something came up. So we are going to tell you exactly, she is going to tell you what went wrong. Say hi to the Investigator TV viewer, then we continue with the story.
I greet everyone out there who is watching us, who is following, who is commenting at the Investigators TV. And I say good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I am back to share with you what I went through. And I believe at the end, we shall also have to share the benefits and the disadvantages and how I am right now. Because as I told you, always a bad thing has good things, have challenges, have lessons. So I have lessons which I can share with people out there who think every white person is 100% perfect.
Okay, so Lillian, in the first episode, you told us how you met you said handsome man from Poland. How you fared the relationship, to the extent that you even traveled to Poland, stayed there for some time, came back here, started on your projects where exactly your heart and mind was. That was your dream of helping the community. You start the projects, they gain momentum, they take off, and yeah, you see that you had started realizing that this is now a dream come true.
True.
Along the way, something happens. What exactly went wrong?
I don't know what went wrong. I am still having that question of the reasons why.
You also don't have the answers already.
I don't have the answer even now. It's already coming to 4 years. I'm not in Gate of Hope because an issue started, like the organization, as I told you, started 2014. And 2020, when COVID came, my sister-in-law had come to Uganda with the husband and children. And when they were
You were here already with your husband. And
I was already here 8 years.
yes.
We established the organization from zero. As you know, something which you have put in all your effort, all
Okay.
your understanding.
Just to remind the viewer, what exactly had you established?
Yeah,
Where had you reached?
this part is very sensitive to me. It's
Sorry.
and it's my very first time to talk about what I went through for the last 3 years and a half. I am this
You
person.
have been keeping it to yourself.
I am this person who had refused to go media.
Share your story.
I wanted it to take its time. But this is the first interview, and the part I'm going to talk about is not an easy part because it broke me, I must say. I felt so bad. I felt so hurt. It is always very, very bad to be hurt by someone you did not expect to hurt you. Someone whom you call your own to disown you. Someone you have never quarreled with, because I think even now, like quarreling with my sister-in-law, quarreling with my husband, quarreling with a woman member of parliament of Chienjojo. I've always having good respect to these people. I still have respect for them, even though they have hurt me. I still have respect for them. I cannot meet them and just move. I always greet them even now. But it's bad that I went through, because from zero ground, from a very hard beginning, we started the organization Ghetto of Hope Education Center. We started with an institution. That was 2014. Then in 2015, we added on a primary school and nursery school. 2016, I added on a secondary school. 2018, we added on a skilling center for boys, specific, like for people who wanted to do tailoring, carpentry and joinery, financial management, computer,
Basically, hands-on
skills. I would give them that knowledge of financial management because I did it. I did that course. I have a bachelor's in it. So sometimes it's not good to just train someone to do something, but you don't teach them about finances. So I had to teach them some introduction on how to manage finances. I believe, and you can also imagine, that it was not an easy task. Imagine after school, marriage after marriage, starting the organization. So it's something that I have put in my knowledge, I have put in my time, I have put in my whole being. It's not, sometimes people think money can do everything. We know very many organizations here in Uganda that donors sent money, but the money did not do the work.
What it's supposed to
be done. But I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but whatever money came, when you come to Chienjojo, you see it. You see that this is there. This was money. Because now the organization is in a billion, like 1.5 billions. So when you see that project, you see that the money is there, you really appreciate. And however much I am not there today, I believe one day, God will restore, because it is in Bible that He will restore all what has been taken from you. I still believe.
So we pray.
I still believe one day, one time, I will get justice, because it's searching for justice that I'm at the Investigator TV. I'm seeking justice of someone putting all your life into something, and someone come and say, move out, without any compensation, without even not even going like that. So the fight started when I didn't know it was a fight. Do you know how? It was one day after lockdown.
Mm.
My in-law, that's my sister-in-law, started to make meetings on
You
Rata.
called her Honrata.
Yeah. She
So
started.
after all that, after all the beauties that you had established down in
Kaihura in Chenzozo district.
yes, Honrata happened and messed up everything.
She used to come for like a week, 2 weeks, a month, of course on a tourist visa for all these the first years. But specifically 2020, she came for 3 months. She told me, I have come with my family to be here for 3 months. Poor me, I became very excited. Since she was the chief fundraiser of the organization, I started to work with her to introduce her to employees, introduce her to village, like show her projects, the boundaries of our work,
What you have been doing.
where the money she was fundraising, what it did. And I truly believe I was doing something great because this organization, it is benefiting community people. Actually, it benefits me little. Only it makes me happy to see that my dream is becoming true. And it is through that very many youths attained education, attained their dreams came true. It made me happy. That was the first payment to my heart.
Just that happiness, seeing
my dream coming true. So when she came, I took her around, and few days to their travel back after 3 months, the lockdown came in. So when the lockdown came in, I had to go to RDCs, had to seek permissions because we are giving even the COVID what? Like food.
Lockdown was around 17th March 2020.
Yes. So we started to give the COVID-19 reliefs to the community, people in Kasese, Kamwenge, Chenzojo, Kabarole. Like, really, I remember the floods of Nyamwamba in Kasese. I went there, I spent there 3 days giving the supplies. I have some pictures. If people are following me or interested to know more, I'll share pictures. So we gave out relief. And of course, with the support of my sister-in-law, the writing, I get these pictures, I share with her the needs. I would share with her the needs.
So basically, you were happy doing that.
Yes, because we are helping people. And now, from nowhere, she started to conduct meetings without me.
Let me understand something. She had come for 3 months.
Yes.
And she was supposed to fly back to
Yes. Then the lockdown
Poland.
Stopped her.
Lockdown came around the time she was supposed to fly.
Yes. And she had to
So she stayed longer.
Yes. She stayed longer. And when she stayed longer,
she used that
time to go deep, because I had already introduced her to people. I had told them who she is. And I think it was around June or July, she started to conduct meetings without me.
Behind you?
Yes. There is a meeting she conducted. It was about the department leaders of the organization. Because we had, like I told you, a primary, secondary. And
so she called them?
When she called that meeting, I was not there. And some of the employees wrote to me, we are in the meeting, you are not here. Why? Was where? At the residence where that lady was staying. I was like, I'm this person who is not aggressive to do things. I don't rush. I take my time. So I told them, it's fine. Have the meeting. You'll tell me the outcome. So after another time, she called another meeting with another group of employees. And this time around, one bold guy asked, how come Akiki is not in this meeting? I was like, no, you don't mind. We shall give her she's busy in the field. We shall tell her what happened. And
were they sharing minutes with you?
no, they would share for me headlines, what took place and all that stuff. And some of the things were not very good. So some of the employees were not very happy. They were sensitive questions. So I was like, okay, this is the second time this thing is happening. My instinct started to tell me, why are my people doing something without informing me? And they know I am the head here. So I went to ask my sister-in-law. I went to where she was staying. We had breakfast together, happy, talking. And after I was like, I have something I want to ask you. I was like, what is it? And the husband was there, the husband to my sister-in-law. But that meeting turned to be a bad one. Because it was like, don't you know that we can also do anything here without you?
What was your question to them?
It was like, why have you started to conduct some meetings without me? I am hearing you're planning to bring some people from Kampala to interview teachers, which I really understand. What is it? Like, don't you know that we can do things without telling you all the time? Don't you know that we are also bosses here? Don't you? But in a high tone. To me, it was a shock. So I was like, I don't understand this. The antennas of my mind started to rise to pay attention to everything. So I went back, not very happy. Yeah, we talked other things because we cannot go to every detail of the story or everything. But we finally concluded, and the conclusion was not good because it was like an opening remarks to me that there are things that are going to take place without me knowing. So I kept quiet. Another time, Madam Honorata came to office and said, I want the stamp like yours. And I also want a stamp of a finance director.
Dear Investigator TV viewers, Madame Honorata is
A tourist.
Lillian's sister-in-law. Yes, sister to her
Husband.
We call him husband or ex-husband?
Husband, because we are not yet divorced.
Yes.
So the lady, when she said she wants a stamp like mine, my stamp was executive director, Get of Hope Education Center. And she was like, I want a stamp like yours, or you put mine as deputy. I was like, no, I cannot do that. It's illegal. I said, what do you mean? Illegal? How? I was like, according to immigration, you are a tourist. Suppose these documents are being aired out. Do you know it can cause problem to you? Me, I need it. I know in Uganda everything is possible. If you cannot get it for me, I'll get it for myself. I was like, no, you don't need to put in force. I'll call one of my guys who do this work. Actually, the supplier of my stamps, stationery, everything has been here in Kampala. He's a Mteso man. I also got it.
So oftentimes you call him, please supply this, give me this.
I give me this with money or without money. We need a stamp because he has our logs. So sometimes it's not good to have this supplier, the other one, especially when it is log or what.
Especially on such sensitive documents.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have been having one supplier for all those years. They've just maybe changed now. So I was like, do you know what? I'll call. It did not take 2-3 days. I saw her with a stamp. Honorata with a stamp. I was like, okay, this is not good. This is not the Honorata I know. Some bad things. She's doing things like she wants to show like she can do anything without me. So I went. Now we are going to end of July there. I went to them and I told the husband to Honorata. I was like, I am realizing your visa, your second visa is ending. And I think it is, I'm not 100% sure. These were my words to him. I am not 100% sure, but I think you're not supposed to have visa more than 2-3 times. Can we look for possible ways for you to get your visa in a proper way? No, don't mind. We also have got people who can connect us to big government officials. Don't mind about us. But that don't mind was also like someone wants like not to go into details of their lives. So I was like, oh, I was just concerned. But if you have other people, it's fine. Then the time for interviewing the employees came. There is an organization, I don't know if it's an organization or a company called Cabin Uganda. I hear it is here in Kampala. So those guys came to Chienjojo to interview the employees of Gate of Hope. And when they came, they asked them, I happened to get their telephone number. I called them and I told them, I'm the director, Gate of Hope Education Center. I'm aware that you're planning to come to interview our
staff.
employees. So please, before interviewing our staff members, first meet me. I was like, who are you? I said, I'm the executive director, Gate of Hope. I said, you and Honorata, who is the executive director? I was like, Honorata is the chief funder. And she sits on the board of the donor organization. I am the executive director here. I was like, no, madam. For us, everything, Honorata finished to fund us everything, and she gave us instructions. Who is giving instructions? Someone who is not a director.
The director.
Someone who has not yet legalized her
citizenship here
in Uganda. That's where I really call upon the internal affairs officers to improve in their work. Because of poverty, a lot of people, we are being stepped on. So I met the cabin guys. I talked with them. It was not a good talk, I must say. It was like, do this, don't do this. This Lillian, now Honorata. They also were surprised because Honorata had told them all about Gate of Hope and sat in the chair as the executive director. And now they come, they find different story.
Different story, yeah.
So they went back. Of course, business people. They took their money because they had the meeting, the conclusion of the meeting, instead of sitting and we share, they did it from a hotel. There is a hotel in Chienjojo. That's where they went and they did that meeting from. So after doing that meeting, they came back. Coming back, they had hired a guy to be a human resource, came with firing, termination of contracts of about 75% of the staff members. And the question Cabin Uganda was asking some of the teachers was, between Lillian and Honorata, whom do you like? Between Lillian and Honorata, who contributed much to this organization? Suppose Lillian is not here, can this organization move? Suppose Honorata is not here, can that organization move? I have teachers who told me about such questions. Are you married? If not, why? They even went to personal questions. You have how many children? How many do you target to have? Why? You understand? After asking a profession that what did you study, they went into such things. The questions they went in were this is questions of divide and rule. They brought back the other ruling of 21st century of divide and rule. So whoever talked bad things or was too much supportive of Lillian, they were all fired.
Contract terminated.
And the contract termination brought a war in Gate of Hope. Why? I issued them contracts. Someone firing them did not employ them. This person is getting instruction from a donor representative. You understand? So a donor representative is firing the employees. It was a big mess on that day. Having 4 staffs, different staffs, I have to gather them all. I'm one person. The donor representative I would be running to, the honorata, is not supportive, saying we are going to start afresh. That was 2020, around, I think, November. I don't remember very well. So it was a big mess. What I did, I met the staff members. I told them, please calm down. We have to involve in now the government. You have to go to labor office. I have to write to the district for mediation. What is taking place? Honorata is saying this, Lillian is saying this. So I was very confused. It was very disappointing. The day did not end well. So after some time, I think like a week or 2, no, when I reached home, my husband did not return that day. When I called him, he told me I'm with Honorata, that is a sister. I remember he spent there 6 days without coming home.
6 days?
Yes, 6 days. So when he came back, no, we had a meeting, like board. Honorata was part, the husband, my husband, me, and other 2 members. So in that meeting, it was bad.
Again for you.
Because in that meeting, the Honorata came with a memo. Lillian is no longer executive director at Gate of Hope.
You're fired now.
I am fired. Fired by who? Donor representative, my sister-in-law, my friend, the person I would run to. So I reached home.
Okay. But I'm looking at why would they fire you?
I don't know.
So you reach home from the meeting?
From the meeting, of course, I continued doing other things. I did not mind about it. It was like maybe she acted when she's angry, or maybe she'll settle. So when I reached home on that day, my husband was there. On the way, like about 10 kilometers to reach home, he called me. He was like, where are you? It's like, entering the forest, like before Fort Potro, there is a forest, Valley Forest. No, it was like, I'm just after the forest. So it would take me like 10-15 minutes to reach home. As usual, when I reached in town, I went to the supermarket, bought some things, went home. Reaching home, it was not welcome. But He came very, very angry. That was like, what is it? We always have like issues of work. We leave the issues of work at work, and we come back home happy. Okay. That day, my children saw their dad, and the man banged my car with a stick. He broke the glass of the car. Immediately, my children were like, Mommy, let's call the police. Mommy, we don't sleep home. My children were young. Something I didn't want my children, like, I would have some small misunderstandings, like all marrieds, but I would try to sort it with my husband. I would protect my children. And the time I decided to do this interview, I prepared myself that even if my children now gets to know, I don't care. They need to know what I went through. They need to know what I am going through. Like, they need to know. Why do I have to keep covering up for someone who is not covering up for me? So, he banned the car.
But you said you had a meeting, all the board members, where your husband was also.
He said,
And,
if you can,
what was his?
He said, if you cannot support my sister, I'm not ready to support you. You need to know my sister did a lot of things.
By supporting his sister, he meant
me. Yes.
Accepting being fired.
Yes. So, he banged the car. Who are Lillian? Yes. I called the police because I knew them. And only thing I said was like, let him not be taken to prison. Ask him where you can take him. But don't take him to prison. But I'm recording that. Why? He's a father to my children. At the end of the day, I was hoping for change. I was hoping for improvement. But things continue to be...
Was he a citizen already?
Yeah, but he was having his permit due to marriage. I made for him that. It's called a certificate of residence due to marriage.
Due to marriage.
So he was free to do anything as a Ugandan because he's married to a Ugandan.
To Uganda, and he has a certificate.
Yes. So for him, he had better stands than even the sister. So the war started. I got to understand that, hey, there is a problem. Thank be to God for my mother. May her soul rest in peace. She counseled me. She told me about good things that we had with my husband. And she saw all the hassle I had gone through. Then, as a Christian, I was like, he banged the car. He has not beaten me. My mother called my husband. He spent some days at my mother's home. Then they talked, whatever they talked. My husband and my mother. And from nowhere, I saw a man coming back home. As I told you, he was never violent. He was never bad. So that act he did, it was very heartbreaking. But again, I wanted to ask what caused it. So I talked with my mother. I remember my pastor also came, we talked. I forgave him. And when I forgave him, we stayed husbands and wife. No problem. Then after, the issues of the other teachers of Gate of Hope were rising, I told him, you have been in Gate of Hope for all 8 years. Your work was on construction. My work was on administration. And I was so much into it with Honorata. So please, let the family be aside. Let me and Honorata handle this issue. And he was like, Honorata has no sister here. Honorata has no brother here. I have to defend my sister. Whether it is right or wrong, I have to defend her. And in actual sense, says it is okay, because also me, I have to defend my sister, but not in a bad way.
It depends, yeah.
Not in a bad way. You have power to sit down with that brother, that sister, and say, hey, this is family. We are breaking a family. So, I must say, I think Honorata had some other advisors who were pushing her forward. Because even when we went for mediations didn't work at the district. It did not work. Only...
Who exactly did you go to at the district?
That time there was a man called Sekasamba, who was the deputy RDC.
Sekasamba.
He died. May his soul rest in peace. They normally say that we respect the dead. I 100% respect the dead. And I'm ready to take this judgment from the viewers. But I also want to tell the viewers, you cannot do something bad and expect people to keep talking good things about you. Sekasamba tortured me. Sekasamba spoke words. If the anti-corruption didn't take my phone, I had his recordings. Him abusing me. Vulgar words. Instead of
doing his job,
mediating he took it personal. And he was a drunkard. So immediately after drinking his alcohol, even I had a video that people in the bar had to record him while talking about me. Ako kaririyani ninza kakwatamu hiko ka inesente aba bajungu ne batuha sente aba bajungu bene byamane bako ebintu bagobamu ako nikanyambachi. The man was talking and other bad words. Manya nichitwara obwire butito okukita. Yes.
Said you have the videos?
The phone was taken by anti-corruption unit.
So they have it.
They have my phone. So he didn't help. When by that time, he instead, since he's the head of security at the district, he instead involved the DISO, instead involved the DPC and the police to protect Muzungu. There is one officer at police who told one of my friend that, like my friend, this officer didn't know that that guy was my friend. So they met in the supermarket and it was like, Konkani mufacha na Lillian. She's our daughter. She's a wife to those people. Why do you want to completely tame that woman? Yet you all know that she sweated for everything. Okay, if they no longer want to work with her, can't they appreciate her and someone goes in peace? And police officer proudly said, Lillian has no money. It went to Sri Lanka. Our work is to push Bazungu when they come to give them manpower so that they give us money. So my friend was, of course, disappointed with such a reply. We didn't know what to do. The chairman LC5 Chianjojo called for a mediation. I appreciate him, Mr. Rubeihayo. He did a very good mediation. At the end of that mediation, I thought everything is going to be what? To be concluded. He was like, okay, Lillian, I've known what you have told me. Actually, you told me what I already knew. You told me about this land. You told us about this organization. You did not hide anything. I already knew. But now, I'm going to call Madam Honorata. We talk. I also talk with her. I get to know her side. Because what did I tell Mr. Rubeihayo, the chairman LC5? I told him, things change in life. We cannot keep fighting and fighting and fighting. One thing I request and one thing I need is justice. If it is not sitting back at Gate of Hope, then let us gather, we all meet, we say, hey, because of A, B, C, D, E, we are not going to continue with Lillian. And for the last 8 years, all the energy of Lillian, all the efforts, all the work she did, all the beautiful work you are seeing, we appreciate that work and we are rewarding her this. And because of A, B, C, D, E, we are not with Lillian. When I told Mr. Rubeihayo, he was like, okay, I'm going to talk with Honorata. So, they later on met. They talked. Then Mr. Rubeihayo called me on phone and was like, I think it was like Friday. He was like, on Friday, I want you at 10 in my office. You are going to be there with Honorata and the husband. We are going to be 4 people. He was like, okay, so we are going to agree how things will be moving. He was like, thank you very much, Chairman. That night, I must say, I slept. So, it is unfortunate. We talked like on Wednesday night. On Thursday evening, the same chairperson called me and said, Lillian, I don't know what's wrong with your in-law. I said, what is it? She has just called me and said that she's not coming for tomorrow. She has got people to help her. Actually, she's not going to come back to my office. And I shouldn't mind to mediate again. I was like, she got people to help her. Which people? That's what she told me. She has got people to help her. Actually, she's going to go legal.
Had she successfully gotten someone to help her with the citizenry process?
I don't know by that time. I didn't know. Only what I did that time, I was like, okay, now we cannot keep fighting. So I came, talked with my lawyer. We had to go legal. Civil. We went civil about Gate of Hope organization. When I went civil, after like a month, you know, when you put things at court, there is a process. So when I had put that, anti-corruption called me. A new number called me randomly. So when a new number called me randomly, that is 2021. So when the new number randomly called me, I picked. And they were like, we've heard you have problems with the organization. Is it Kemgisa Lillian? Yes. We've heard you have issues with the Gate of Hope. I said, true. This is anti-corruption. I had heard about it, but not really paid attention of what they do. But when I had the office of the president, I was like, oh, maybe my savior will come from anti-corruption. Not knowing it was another ditch for me to fall in. I came to anti-corruption. When I reached there, they interviewed me like all what I have already told you. And I started that meeting at 11 a.m. It ended up, I left that place at 9. What hurts me, I left the place while on bail.
On bail.
This is
that means they had arrested.
They had arrested me without knowing. Because around 6:30, a certain officer came and said, Lillian is still here. Why can't you take her?
If someone asked you to lead them to State House Anti-Corruption Unit offices, how do you maneuver?
How do I do it? They are very
like
nice.
Where exactly is this office where you went to? Anti-Corruption Court.
Why? Me, I'm not frequent with Kampala, whatever streets, but I know where it is. Because it is opposite. Is it Prime Minister's office?
That's Prime Minister's office.
It is opposite. So when you go to anti-corruption, of course, it is processed to really reach at anti-corruption office. Why? Down there are other offices. Then the other one is, I think, 4th floor or something. But I know there anyways. Because I went there not once, not twice.
So they arrest you without you knowing?
I told them everything. And then the conclusion was, you are leaving on bail. Come back after 2 weeks. It was my first time to hear the word bail. I didn't know. Even when they talked about bail, I asked one officer,
what is it?
What is this? Then I went at home. I asked my sister. I started to call. Why bail? They give bail to someone who has been arrested. And then, was I arrested? And if yes, why? These people called me, asked me my problem.
They wanted to hear your story.
They wanted to hear my story. Then why am I living on bail? So I came. They told me you come back. So after 2 weeks, I came back. When I came back, it was another fire. On that meeting, when I came back, I found there my in-laws. They first pissed me around for like 2 hours. Then after we went to a certain room, it was downstairs. Actually, it was not the Department of Anti-Corruption. That time it was downstairs. So I went there. And then after, it was a meeting. I saw my sister-in-law had chose a new board. Those new board members had come. My sister-in-law was there. The husband was there. And in that meeting, I was instructed to bring original documents of Gate of Hope Education Center. The meeting took place and things were, I want to say that they wanted to mediate, but the head of anti-corruption unit was not there. There were other officers.
Why were you doing this all alone? Because were there not people for you to run to for advice?
No. You know, when the anti-corruption called me, we thought it is another mediation. You understand? But yet, they were agreeing with what? Of course, I didn't know until at the end. Like everything, they would plan something. They like hijack you into something. Like, for example, anti-corruption when I came, I did not come like as if I'm going to be arrested. But they arrested me. So on bail, what do you expect? Is to come back for that
Yes.
renew.
So innocently,
Yes.
looking for justice,
Yes,
you had to hug every opportunity that came along.
exactly. So when that happened, when I came and I was like, even these officers did not tell me that there would be other people coming, but it was an ambush. So reaching there, they asked me, bring all the official documents, original documents of the organization. I told them, I have a case going on in Fort Potro. I cannot bring these documents. The conclusion in that meeting was not good. So, bail was extended, and they insisted I should bring original documents. My knowledge, my understanding did not convince me to bring original documents. So when I was coming on that time, I came with another friend. When I came with another friend, they hindered him from entering.
Your friend?
Yes. He was also an important person in the government. They hindered him from coming. They said, no, we just need Lillian. So the person waited outside. Lillian was not coming. And around 2, they were like, Lillian, did you bring original documents? I said, no, I brought photocopied one, but certified. Because the originals, we have a case running in Fort Potro, a civil suit running in Fort Potro. They might need it.
What was the reaction then?
You know, when you reach
because I'm looking at the reason for them to ask you for the original copies, the original documents, was to get them, then give them to Honratas.
That's what they had said. And they want to give, the anti-corruption wanted to give documents while the case is running and giving it to people whom actually, because of that reaction, I must confess,
that means the anti-corruption unit
didn't help me.
Didn't help,
but
they were instead corrupted.
And they made it worse for my life.
Sorry.
Worse. So, after that, you know, when you reach there, on corruption, they know how to toss you around. No one comes to you. And then you want to go, they stop you. So it was around over 2 there. One guy came and said, you are under arrest. Bring your phone. I was like, officer, let me first inform my people. And there is a lady came called Nakato. Nakato, take her out. They know how to make phones, eh?
Nakato, you don't remember the other name?
But at least that one I went to even.
But you can.
I went to internet and got her.
Describe her that she's.
Yes. So, she's a policewoman. So, she was. I moved out. Moving out, police car is there. Then I was taken to CPS. I even don't know.
Kampala.
Yes. Reaching there, enter the cells. No like talking, no nothing. I even asked madam, I was like in the car, can I call someone? Whom are you talking with?
Arrogantly like that.
Arrogantly. Meaning their plan was to arrest me, I be taken wherever I am being taken without anyone knowing. Who is doing that? Who is behind that? my in-laws,
Honorata and the husband.
and other group of people.
And other Ugandans.
Other Ugandans. I went. So, after being put in cells for the very first time.
Hey, you entered cells.
It is hard.
How long did you spend there in the cells?
At his CPS. It was one day. So
you spent the night?
Yes. So while there, thank God for Ugandans. Ugandans are ways. Ugandans are ways. So, and miraculously, I got a phone.
They called over the counter?
I will not tell you, but I told you miraculously I got a phone. When I got a phone, I called my people. I had one number in head, and that is my late mother's number. I told her, tell Mark to call this phone. Mark is my brother. I was like, Mommy, this is Lillian. Tell Mark to call now.
You didn't tell her what had happened?
I could not tell my mother. So, thank be to God, Mark immediately called. Told her, Mark, I'm at CPS. Immediately, that's when they got to know what is happening. So, they tried what they could. I did go through. He came in the night. They visited me. They brought for me food.
Sorry, please. You should be strong.
So after, I slept there. In the morning, they did not allow anyone from my people to visit me. The rule had come from where we don't know. Because in that miraculous way, that's when I got to know that man, whoever is reaching at counter wanting to see Lillian is not given chance. But be strong. We are all outside. We are like 10 people. Your lawyer is here. We are just waiting. So you will not be taken anywhere without us seeing. So be strong where you go. We are with you. So I started to pray. I believed God. I just told God, protect my children, protect my mother, and protect my soul. So after that, the car came again, the one that had brought me.
This time round taking you where?
I didn't know, because I could not ask. If I ask, they don't reply.
So eventually, after
They
you
just
entered
came,
it, they drove off.
enter. They told me enter. And funny enough that sometimes the devil is a liar. All people who were there, they had just went. Like my brother had just, I think, went to load his phone. As if there was someone monitoring my people. And the car, by the time the car took me, no one was at police. My brother reaching there, this is the story they told me. asked officer. Actually, my brother had gone to buy for me something. And reaching there to look for Lillian, Lillian is being taken. My brother was like running mad. They told him it is the police car that took her. Where they don't know. So after that, seeing myself, I saw media houses. I saw the word City Hall Court. Media houses of Uganda were there. I normally tell people that for me, I see these videos that follow Bobby Wine, that follow Zari when he's, I am not a TV person, but there are people you cannot avoid.
So that day at
Because
City
they are-
Hall,
they
you
are
also
videos-
became a celebrity like
Because they are
Popeye,
videos.
Zali.
These videos never follow Museveni. They sit somewhere there,
And record.
they record. But these ones, in our language, we call them ezorwiru. The ones that is ready to capture true and true whatever. They were all on me. I had to take a long breath and just said, God, let your will be done. No one knows where I am that time. When I reached there, of course, it was Nakato again who took me there. A fellow woman. I will share with you her picture.
Yeah.
So when I reached there, I was like, Madam, can you please help me? I call at least my lawyer. She did not answer me. She did not. For her, she did not want to do anything with Lillian. I'm being taken to court. My file is not there. How did I know? The magistrate came asking clerk, eno file y'omukyala eruwa? Nze want to go. File ya Lillian eruwa? People are calling me, they want me to do this, but I'm not seeing it. So, Nyakato had to call someone called Timothy. And that is a state attorney. I know his second name, but I'm forgetting it. But it begins like, it's called Timothy. So, they started to say, naye Timothy nga toleta file, omulamuzi agenda, Timothy leta file. By the time Nyakato was saying, Timothy leta file, I also pleaded with the clerk, please call my lawyer.
Okay, we shall start from there for the next episode. Strange but true. Lillian attempts to look for justice, but in every office, on every door that she knocked at, she was being tossed. All the injustices were being done on her. She was arrested. She was abused. She was done anything unthinkable for someone who is looking for justice. That has been episode 2 for the cheating in-laws. We shall be back in episode 3. Thank you for keeping it at The Investigator. Thank you for following. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. May God bless you.
Amen. Thank you very much.